You are holding a day that already ended. You may not have noticed the moment it closed. There was no bell, no line drawn across the hours. But somewhere back there, the last thing you would ever do on this day got done, and the day quietly became finished, sealed. It is over now. And yet you are still carrying it, the way you might carry a coat into a warm room and forget to set it down, holding a whole spent day in a bed that was made for letting go. Tonight you let it be over, not by forgetting it and not by grieving it, by seeing clearly and gently that this day was a small life of its own. It had a beginning and a middle and an end. It had its season, and the season is finished now, exactly as it was meant to be. There is a line that has been read at the end of things for thousands of years, and it is one of the oldest, calmest accounts of how time actually works. In the King James Version of Ecclesiastes, it runs like this: "To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted." Most people hear those words only at funerals, as if they were about the large death, the final one. But the writer is describing something far more ordinary and far more daily. He's describing the shape of everything that lives. A thing begins, it runs its course, it ends, not as a failure, not as a tragedy, but as a season, the way summer is not betrayed when autumn comes. The same passage says later, there is a time to keep silence and a time to speak, and tonight is the day's time to keep silence. Its hours of speaking are spent. That is not sad, that is right. So consider what you have actually been handed. This single day was a small, complete life. It was born when you opened your eyes. It did its work, planted what it planted, said what it had to say, and now here in the dark it has reached its own quiet death, not yours, the day's, and the day is allowed to die. It was always going to. That was the deal from the first minute. In the older Buddhist traditions, there is a gentle practice for exactly this hour, a recollection of death kept softly at night. The idea is not to frighten yourself. It is to remember lightly that this could be the last night, that no day is owed to anyone. Held gently, that remembering does something strange and kind. It loosens your grip. The things you were clenching, the unfinished task, the conversation you wanted to redo, the tomorrow you have not been promised, all of them go a little slack in your hands. You stop clinging to a day that is already complete, and in the loosening, you become quietly grateful that it happened at all. There is a difference between a day that ends and a day you allow to end, and the whole night turns on which one you are doing. When you refuse to let a day close, it does not stay open in any useful way. It just stays unfinished in you, running faintly under everything, a thing you keep almost putting down and never quite releasing. You lie there negotiating with hours that are already gone, trying to edit a life that has already been lived, and the day, which asked nothing more of you, becomes the one thing keeping you awake. Letting it end is the opposite motion. You look at the day as a whole shape, the way you would look at a small, completed life, and you let it be exactly what it was. You do not demand it be more, you do not pretend it was less. You simply acknowledge that its season is over and that the ending is not a verdict against you. It is just the nature of days. Each one is finite, each one is allowed to be finished. Viktor Frankl, writing out of the hardest place a person can write from, left us a way to hold this without dread. He suggested living as though you were already living your life a second time, having gotten it wrong the first. The point was never guilt. It was that the awareness of finitude is precisely what makes a day matter and what finally lets you release it. A day you knew was numbered is a day you took seriously while it lasted, and a day taken seriously is one you can set down honestly when it ends. So the practice is not morbid. It is clarifying. Rehearse the small ending gently, night after night, and the large ending loses a little of its terror, and the days themselves grow more vivid, because you finally know they are not infinite. So tonight, let the season close. I acknowledge that this day is over, fully and gently. I see that it was small and whole, and that it had its season. I let go of the hours I cannot reach anymore. I release the grip on what was left unfinished. I am grateful that this day happened at all. I accept that every day is finite and that this one is allowed to be done. I let the day die its small, ordinary death and I rest. The day had its season and the season is over now, so let it close the way light closes at the end of an evening, without struggle, without being clung to. A small finished life laid quietly down, and let your grip on the unfinished things go soft. The task, the words, the tomorrow no one has promised you. All of it loosening out of your hands and your shoulders and your jaw until there is only the breath and the dark and the gentle fact that tonight asks nothing more of you. For to everything there is a season. And this one is done, kept silent now at peace. And a morning is coming that will bring its own small beginning where we turn toward earning what you inherited. The work of re-earning what was simply handed to you, through Goethe and the old Stoic Musonius Rufus, who taught that what we receive we must make our own by living it. But that labor belongs to the morning, and tonight asks none of it. For now you let this day be finished, complete, and gently set down, and you rest. Begin disciplined, end reflective.